Hello everyone, welcome back to my Dragon Age Headcanon series, where I talk about the different choices I've made throughout the series and why. Today I'll be talking about Loghain. Big, complex, terrific decision here. Even in my first playthrough, I loved Alistair. I thought and still think he was a great brother-in-arms. But I let Loghain live because I thought I should give him the chance to redeem himself. Alistair left and I felt bad, but I thought it was best to give Loghain a chance. After that, however, having played through again and fully understanding the gravity of what he did, I changed my tune. Here's why. We could debate whether or not he did the right thing by fleeing the field at Ostagar. Maybe the wardens were too late, maybe it wouldn't have mattered if the flanking charge had come. But the thing is, it seems like he planned it that way from the start. The biggest thing that points to this is Arl Howe. Okay, let's pretend for a minute that Howe succeeded and his forces effectively killed everyone in Castle Cousland. What did he plan to tell the nobility? That it was Darkspawn? No one would buy that as A, virtually no Darkspawn would have been reported that far north already, much less enough of them to pose a significant threat to the castle's defenders. B, the surrounding town would have noticed. C, where would they have gone after having killed everyone? And D, why are there no bodies? If not Darkspawn, maybe that it was bandits? How often does a group of bandits attack the castle of one of the most powerful families in Ferelden and win? Not to mention, again, the surrounding town would have noticed and there would have been bodies. Howe wasn't dumb, but unless he already had an alliance with someone powerful enough to bail him out, of which there would have been none that could have overruled the king had the battle gone according to plan, he had to know that he never would have gotten away with it. But okay, let's pretend that Howe really was that stupid. Okay, Loghain still hired a known blood mage to poison Arl Eamon, before the battle at Ostagar. What reason could he have possibly had to do that unless he needed Eamon out of the picture? And why would he have needed Eamon out of the picture except to challenge his claim to authority? Even if that didn't happen, he immediately blamed the Grey Wardens for leading the king into a trap, before he even knew that any of them survived. If he believed he was doing the right thing by fleeing the field, he would have had no reason to lie like that. He could have just told the truth that the army was overwhelmed and he had to pull out. Even if that didn't happen, he still allowed Arl Howe to kidnap and torture any nobles that didn't agree with him. Torture? Are you freaking kidding me? But even if that didn't happen, he still made a deal with the Tevinter Magister to sell Ferelden citizens into slavery. He would have been charged with treason for that alone. So with all that, no, he doesn't get to be a warden. You cannot trust someone who would do one of those things, much less all of them. Speaking of trust, granted the warden nor Alistair would have known about this, but in the Stolen Throne, Merrick and Loghain meet Flemeth, who turns to Merrick and says, "Keep him close, and he will betray you, each time worse than the last." Well, considering how bad his last betrayal was, I truly dread to think how much worse his next will be, if he's a warden and survived in the Fade. And yeah, of course I want to know what's going to happen, but I'm not just going to let it happen for that alone. And again, Alistair and the warden didn't know about that, but they didn't have to. Like I said, he probably made a deal with Howe before Ostagar, whom he then allowed to torture other nobles. He definitely hired a blood mage to poison Arl Eamon. He lied about what happened at Ostagar in order to save face, and he sold Ferelden citizens into slavery after conspiring with a foreign power. Regardless of my personal beliefs on the issue, the Ferelden nobility would have had him executed even if you or Alistair didn't do it right then and there. The right of conscription is the only way to save him, and no. So there you have it, guys, my personal headcanon for Loghain MacTier. Be sure to leave your own opinions in the comments. I'll see you later.